Hey, my friends, this is The Art of Prepping. Over my life, I've kind of had some experiences that have led to a few of these tips I'm going to give to you. And they're very basic tips from the outside looking in. But from the inside looking out, it's very important. And some of these life lessons really are things that can save you a bunch of time and energy, and reduce your headaches too, if you get headaches from all the stress in life. Let's go through them real quick. I have 3 of them here for you today. If you like this content, let me know, and I'll make some more tips concerning Homestead. Now, when you're looking for a piece of property to build your home or homestead, you're gonna want to look at location. How far are you from resources that you need? It could be stores or relatives or friends, anything like that. And if it's too far off, you're not going to be that happy. And so you got to figure out what the threshold is for you personally. I have friends that live an hour away from the nearest store. They don't have a problem with that. I know people that are more than 2 hours away from the grocery store, and they don't like it, but they can deal with it. But I know other people that would refuse to be more than 10 minutes from a grocery store. So if that's how you are, you're going to have to take that into consideration when you're looking for land. Just for example, I have about an hour ride time, threshold. Anything more than an hour, I just don't really enjoy. I'm not a big driving kind of person. I'll drive if I have to, but I don't want to drive an hour or more to get to a grocery store. So I made sure to live in an area that it takes less than an hour to get around to the places that I need. And so definitely consider that location. The next here is having a source of water on your property. This is very important, especially if you're talking about, you're going to grow gardens or raise livestock and for your own personal needs, because in a lot more of the rural areas, they don't have water, piped in from, a municipal source. There's just no water lines out here. Like for where I live, there's no water lines, there's no gas lines, there's nothing out here. We're lucky to have electric. So in those situations, you're going to have to look at where you're going to get your water. Now, you could have it trucked in. A lot of places have trucking services. You can get your water brought in by tanker trucks, and they can deposit it into a cistern. But what about other ways? What about wells? Wells are good. And of course, if you have natural bodies of water on your property, that's even a better bonus, like ponds and rivers and lakes, streams, things like that. You could also catch water, rainwater, and put that into a cistern. That's another possibility. And the last tip today is when you're thinking about building a house on your land, position your house so it's not so close to your neighbors. You want a little bit of space, not just for privacy, but to reduce the noise that could possibly come from living by certain people. And maybe you're noisy, so maybe out of respect to your neighbor, you kind of make sure you have enough distance from them and that you have maybe a barrier or two between you guys. It could be a decent fence that could help absorb or reflect some sound off. It could be natural barriers. It could be hedges or brush. It could be a whole wooded lot in between you and your neighbor. That can dampen a lot of sound. So just be mindful not to build your house like 20 feet from your neighbor's house, especially if you have 100 acres. That doesn't make sense. Don't do that, because not only you may get upset with some of the noise that goes on with your neighbor, but you may get pulled in inadvertently with some of their drama. And you may say, well, my neighbors are good people. Yeah, but people move. Some people move sometimes very soon after you move in. So you may think, man, I got great neighbors, nothing to worry about. But a year later, they move and you get some horrible neighbors. This has happened to me personally. And also, sometimes neighbors die. And that also invites the change of command of who owns the property next to you. So you just got to be realistic. Don't build or buy a home right next to another house. Doesn't make sense. It's just ridiculous. Hope these tips helped. If you have other tips that you would like to share with our friends here on the channel, with each other, feel free to do that in the comment section. I want to thank you so much for checking out the description box and for using the hyperlinks for supporting the channel. It's always very much appreciated. You guys take care. Catch you later.